Okay, I'll call this meeting to order. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming. It's good to see some people in the gallery witnessing tonight's meeting, so you're welcome. Let's get this thing started. We have a lengthy agenda this evening at this Committee of the Whole meeting. So we have one slight change to the agenda. Mr. Burden is unable to be with us this evening, so we are going to postpone the sidewalk presentation 7.1, if everyone is agreeable. Other than that, if someone would like to move the approval of the agenda.
So.
Thank you. A seconder?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. We have some minutes to approve from the last regular council meeting. Would someone like to move the approval of the minutes?
Awesome.
Thank you, Deputy. Seconder?
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. We have some minutes from, some confirmation of minutes from a council and committee meeting, and those had to be brought forward. And so, Councillor Granter, if you could walk us through those, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In accordance with Section 41(3) of the City of Corner Brook Act, where decisions made by the councillors at a privileged meeting, the decision, in order to be valid, shall be ratified at a public meeting of the council. Council and committee meeting, August 9, 2021. It is resolved to ratify minutes CC 21-013, approval of agenda. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder?
Second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
It is resolved to ratify minutes CC 21-15, approval of relocation expenses. It is resolved to approve the relocation expenses of up to $8,000 for relocation of the new Corner Brook Fire Department training officer to the City of Corner Brook. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder?
Seconded.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
Council and committee meeting, August 23rd, 2021. It is resolved to ratify minutes CC 21-026, approval of agenda. It is resolved to approve the agenda as circulated. So moved.
The seconder?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded?
Council and committee Council and committee meeting, October the 18th, 2021. It is resolved to ratify minutes CC 21024, approval of relocation expenses. It is resolved to approve the relocation expenses of up to $10,000 for relocation of the new Corner Brook Fire Department Assistant Deputy Chief to the City of Corner Brook. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
Council and committee meeting, October the 25th, 2021. It is resolved to ratify minutes CC 21026, approval of agenda. It is resolved to approve the agenda as circulated. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. All, seconder?
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
It is resolved to ratify minutes CC 21028, approval of execution of agreement, investing in Canada Infrastructure Program 17CCR 22-00000, Great Trail Enhancement Phase 1. It is resolved to accept cost-shared funding as outlined in the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Project Approval Letter dated July 19, 2021, project number 17CCR 22-00000, Great Trail Enhancement Phase 1, project with a total value of $1,707,500, including HST. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded?
And finally, Mr. Mayor, it is further resolved to provide the ultimate recipient share value of $516,088 in funding for this project, and to authorize the mayor and the city manager to sign the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program agreement with the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Corner Brook. So move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. And we'll hear more about the Great Trail from Councillor Keeping a little later on in the agenda. Thank you for that, Councillor Granter.
Thank you.
And I guess for the benefit of those at home and the gallery, CC meetings are done when there's some sensitive or legal issue that has to be dealt with. Those minutes to be approved have to come forward later on in a public meeting, and that's what we do. So we have some we have any business arising from the minutes? Sorry, before we go further.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
Just an update on 21-149, the North Shore Highway application, Crown Lands. We tabled it at that time.
Yes.
Just wondering if we had any update.
Okay, Mr. Charters?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we did request some more information from the proponent. We just received that, I'm going to say, a couple days ago, so you'll see that at the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else there? Okay, we have some proclamations to make note of. We did notice October as Rett Syndrome Awareness Month, whereas Rett syndrome is a rare genetic neurological disorder that occurs almost exclusively in girls and leads to severe impairments affecting nearly every aspect of the individual's life. Rett syndrome occurs worldwide 1 in every 10,000 female births and is even rarer in boys, but not impossible. Rett syndrome is usually recognized in children between 6 and 18 months of age as they begin to miss developmental milestones or lose abilities they had once gained. So therefore, I, Jim Parsons, proclaimed October 2021 as Rett Syndrome Awareness Month in the city of Corner Brook. We also marked October as National Disability Employment Awareness Month, whereas Disability Employment Awareness Month, DEEM as it's called, is an annual awareness campaign that takes place during the full month of October. It recognizes and celebrates the varied contributions of workers with disabilities. DEEM also recognizes the leadership of inclusive employers who promote employment inclusion and educate Newfoundlanders and Labradorians about disability employment issues. And I was pleased to have Councillor Gill with me there to mark that event. So therefore, we did mark October as Disability Employment Awareness Month in the city of Corner Brook. And last but not least, we did mark November 1st to the 11th as Remembrance Period, and it was my pleasure to welcome members of the Legion down a couple Fridays ago, where they pinned me, and they always love to poke me a little bit with the sharp end of the pin. But it's great to see them, and of course, it's a moment to remind people to get their poppy, help our Legions as they help our veterans. So get out. And along with that, I just wanted to provide a little information because we do get a lot of inquiries this time of year. Of course, Thursday is Remembrance Day, and the last couple of years it's been a little different in how we celebrate or how we mark that, commemorate that event because of COVID. This year, that the Legion Branch 13 and the City of Corner Brook, we'd like to inform residents concerning the Remembrance Day proceedings on November 11th. Due to the ongoing pandemic, this year's ceremony will be still scaled back. A moment of silence will take place at 11 a.m. and a wreath laying will take place with members of the Legion and invited guests only. There will be no parade. However, West Street will be closed from City Hall parking lot access on West Street, of course, down to Main Street to allow members of the Legion to march into Remembrance Square. City Hall's parking lot will be accessible for this event. Should any members of the general public wish to attend, they are asked to maintain physical distancing outside of their bubbles, wear a mask, and wait until after the ceremony to lay any wreaths that aren't part of the ceremony. The Legion will be closed to the public, unfortunately, after the ceremony. A little different this year, but again, it's a very popular event, so please, again, if you do go down, enjoy and mark it safely that day. Okay. Okay, on to other business. 5.1. Okay, so we have on October 18th, Councillor Pender, you brought forth a notice of motion with two parts. First, rescinding approval of that was previously given for a crematorium on Country Road, and secondly, asking for a moratorium on future crematoria in the city. Staff have prepared background on the motion, and council has been given a legal briefing on the matter. How would you like to proceed?
I think we'll make the first motion and then the second motion, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so go ahead with your motion.
So the first motion, it is resolved that the City of Corner Brook City Council rescind minute 2179 dated Monday, May 21st, 2021, approving the application for the proposed crematorium at 167 Country Road, Corner Brook, Newfoundland. I so move.
Okay, unfortunately, Councillor, your motion is out of order. Section 26 of our Rules of Procedure state that motions may not be rescinded if irreversible actions have already taken place on them. The motion to rescind is not retroactive, and any actions emanating from the original motion remain valid. And as council has been briefed, the city has no legal authority to revoke a development approval in this circumstance once it was given. Therefore, the motion is moot. Would you like to proceed with an alternative motion?
I do have a second motion.
Okay.
However, I'm in disagreement with the first, with your assessment of the first motion.
Okay.
Okay, and I want to state that on the record. I made a motion, and I believe I have the right to make a motion. And
Okay.
the motion can be seconded.
You can appeal the decision of the chair if you like.
I'll do that.
Okay. So would
Mr.
someone
Mayor,
like to,
I appeal your decision.
okay, someone like to second that?
I will.
Second that? Okay, this is not debatable. So if you agree that the chair is not correct, then please say yay. So hands, all those in favor? All those opposed?
I know, I'm confused. What do you?
I'm abstaining.
So Councillor Pender has made a motion to say that I cannot rule him out of order. And so now there's an appeal of the chair's decision. Deputy Mayor has seconded that. So now there's a vote to say whether or not my decision should be waived, that the original motion should go forward. So if you're in favor of, I guess, negating my ruling, say aye. That's what, there, okay? So are you,
Want to vote again?
want to vote again?
Just before you do, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
all councillors are required to vote. There is no abstentions permitted,
And,
unless there's conflict of interest.
okay, so you understand? You cannot abstain,
Oh,
okay?
I just learned something new today.
Okay. So again, all those in favor of appealing the ruling of the chair, say
May I
aye.
ask a question before we vote?
Yes?
So if we are going to vote in favor of your ruling being benign, does that leave it open for further discussion as to where that motion goes?
The motion will come forward then. If I ruled it out of order, there is a motion to appeal the ruling of the chair. If that passes, then the ruling is appealed, and the motion will be entertained and could be seconded and brought forward.
And if the motion is entertained, will the background information be brought forth for public consumption on why we would vote yea or nay on that?
Absolutely. There will be debate then.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor, normally this is not to be debated or discussed. but
No, this is a point of
I'm
information,
trying
that's
to-
all.
No problem.
This is not a debate, it's a point of information, right?
No
I'm
problem.
just trying to understand where
Yeah.
we're going with this, Joe.
Yep. Okay, so
We're
again,
not going to go very far, as you'll see.
okay, I'm going to call for the question. All those in favor of appealing the chair's decision, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, counterminded?
Nay.
Okay, there you go. So it's, again, you can make your motion?
Okay, so would you like me to read that again, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I would.
So be it resolved, or it is resolved, that the City of Corner Brook City Council rescind minute 2179 dated Monday, May 31st, 2021, approving the application for the proposed crematorium at 167 Country Road, Corner Brook, Newfoundland. So that's the original motion. It's been moved and seconded, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and I believe, do I have to repeat that motion? Or do we have to wait till the seconder? Okay, no, fine.
Good.
So do we have a seconder?
So I need a seconder again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you need a seconder, because no one seconded the motion, it didn't come forward before, right?
All right.
Right, so we have a seconder and a deputy mayor? Yep. Okay, so we have a seconder?
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Can I speak to the motion?
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Mayor, in light of information received in one email on Wednesday and additional lengthy information we received Friday, I suspect there's many people around the table with questions on the information that we received. And therefore, I'm going to move that we table the motion for now until we can have those questions answered. If so be, so I need a second for that, but that would be my motion right now.
So you want to table the motion
Yes.
you just made?
Yes,
So why did you make a motion?
so we can have it there to discuss if we wish to bring it back.
Okay. Would someone like to table this
Obviously,
motion?
Mr. Mayor, there's further information that we've received that I think we need to have answers to.
Would anyone like to table this and, I guess, extend this further?
It's not meant to extend it any further than necessary, Mr. Mayor. I think a lot of people want this resolved one way.
Okay, would someone like to second the motion to table?
I'll second, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Is this debatable? Motion to table? No. Okay. All those in favor of, well, I guess tabling it or postponing it, fair to say?
Table?
Postpone it? Yeah, so can we postpone it instead, or,
We're going to table the motion until it comes back, if it comes back.
okay, and you'll take it off the table again?
If we have to, yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, all those in favor of tabling the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded?
Nay.
Okay, so we are tabling this motion. So it will have to be brought off the table again at a later date, if at all.
Once we get, I think, some clarification
Okay,
of the issue. So the
Excellent.
second motion, Mr. Mayor. if I
yes,
may?
go ahead.
Okay, so for the second part of the motion, I want to thank our city manager for working with me on rewording this and whoever else was involved, I'm not quite sure, so that the motion's clear and doesn't prevent the city from moving forward with these matters. So the proposed motion as amended, be it resolved that as a component of the current review of the Integrated Municipal Sustainable Plan and Development Regulations, that the City of Corner Brook review all non-residential permitted and discretionary uses that have a potential to cause air pollution or other noxious concerns for adjacent or abutting residential properties. So that would be the first, there are two motions, Mr. Mayor, but that would be the wording of the first.
Okay, do you want to do them as a single motion or separately, or
If you want to, just present it to me as two motions.
we can vote on each individually? Sure, yep. Okay, we'll vote on that motion. Would someone like to second that motion?
Seconded.
Thank you. Any questions or any debate on this motion?
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I think it's just to ensure that going forward, that our municipal plan takes into consideration some of the concerns that have been raised.
Sure.
As we are in the process of updating our municipal plan currently, I think it's important that residents have an opportunity to have their voices heard through that process, so that the new municipal plan that comes out of that represents the wishes of residents and I hope gives us a better municipal plan for future development of the city.
Okay. Okay, yeah, yes.
I don't know if this is out of line or what, but I just don't understand, like, this is the third time that issue has come to council. And back 2 councils ago, when I think my friend here was the mayor, I just don't understand if that is so important today, why didn't they do that then? Would have been done. When
Agreed.
they turned it down, they could have stopped it right there,
Agreed.
changed it, and these poor people back here would be left alone. So why didn't you do that then? Why are you waiting to bring it back here now, and now throw it at us? I don't understand that.
Okay.
When you could have changed it.
I'd like to speak to that as well.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So I find this whole process distasteful.
Yep.
There's a bottom line to all this, and we're stringing our residents along
Yes.
instead of educating them and helping them through this, okay? There is a bottom line to this, and this council is going to be held accountable by law. And this is just shenanigans to bring them out like this. I'm really disheartened by this whole process. We all know where this is going to land, and I'm not impressed with using our residents as a soapbox to stand on. I'm not into it.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
Yes, go ahead, Councillor.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to the residents for showing up tonight to listen to the proceedings here. I've always, and I mentioned in the meeting to you before, Mr. Mayor, and I believe other councillors were there, I've always looked at decisions that we always make in three lights. Is it legal? And we know that the decision that previous council was legal, according to the report that came back. Is it balanced? And perhaps it was a balanced decision because it went to a vote. We all know I know where I stood on it, and it passed on council. I was against it, but it passed. And thirdly, I always try to base my decisions on how it makes you feel in the pit of your stomach. And after the last number of months, when this debate started in the previous council and in this council, and listening to the residents in that particular area, and also just sitting around my own patio throughout the summer and saying, would I want something like a crematorium next to me? And the first two questions, legal and balanced, might be yes to both of those. But in the pit of my stomach, like in the pit of the stomach of everyone sat in the gallery, and a lot of residents around Corner Brook, if it was on the east side, west side, down Curling, wherever it might be, I'm sure the residents in those particular areas wouldn't want it in their particular neighborhood as well. To the point of where we're to tonight, and Councillor Pender's motions, it's very simple. We were presented with evidence last week, a report on, I asked a question and I got some information back. We received it on Friday, and it's a very, very detailed piece of information that puts us all in a very precarious situation if we actually voted on that particular vote tonight, because there's a question that needs to be asked, and at least one question that needs to be answered, and where we all sit around this council table without getting into debate about what the question might be. But there's an answer to a question that we need further advice on before I would even suggest that anyone sitting around this table would even vote yay or nay for the motion that was brought forward. So I'm in favor of tabling it as we did, and waiting for further discussion and further debate and further information, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. You, sir? Yes?
Mayor?
Well, I would like to give everyone an opportunity to speak,
Okay,
so.
I can wait.
Yeah. Anyone else would like to speak before it comes back to Councillor Pender?
I was going to say, point of order,
Okay, go
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
We're
go
not
ahead.
actually debating this motion.
No, but I guess that there is some latitude to pretty much say whatever you want in this regard now, apparently. Go ahead.
I guess I'm just going to be short and sweet. I guess it has come to a point where we're not doing anything against the residents. I'm certainly not, hopefully, I'm not stringing them along intentionally. What I'm doing is listening to the residents. And at the end of the day, we don't know where this is all going to end up. But I still think we need to gather all the information. And in light of the email that we got on Friday, we also need to look at how the information is going to affect everyone sitting around this council table. But the residents of that area deserve one more chance to be heard. And if we can give them that one chance to be heard, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, the intent, as I said, is not to drag this out any longer than necessary. I had hoped we had all the information before us when I made the motion. We've been presented with several pieces of additional information since that none of us were aware of, I don't think, and in particular on Friday. So I think it's fair to the residents and proponent to make sure that we cross all the T's and dot all the I's. And in response to the previous councillor's question, why wasn't this done in the previous council? It was discussed, it was asked to be done. That council then, several months later, was no longer in office. It didn't go forward. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor, I guess. Well, 1 second, I guess.
Okay.
So the motion we are talking about right now is to resolve as a component of our current review that we will look at this. Again, it seems like a bit of a moot point. Obviously, we are hiring a consultant and we're doing a review of our municipal plan and development regulations. So clearly, as you know, and Mr. Charters would be able to tell you, we are doing significant consultation as part of this municipal review. So yes, go ahead.
When I took office, what I wanted to do was be consistent. I didn't want decisions based on how I felt. I have a role to play as a councillor, and I have to be fair to everybody. The first year we were in office here, we had an issue of a towing company moving into a residential area. We had 60 people, residents, in the classrooms, the meetings room at Civic Center, and they were concerned about their kids walking to school with tow trucks, 16, 17 ton, backing in off O'Connell Drive in, right? And the ruling of the council, and it was right. It was right. It's zoned for it, there's nothing we can do. We have to follow the zoning. And this council voted in favor. Now, if you're talking about listening to the residents, and I'm all for that, really. So how can you do it here and not do it there?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. We have to be consistent.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
I did actually have...
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm wondering what the piece of information is that we're missing, that everybody says we're waiting for. What is the question we're waiting on?
Yeah. I think
You
that
want
we
me
can...
to answer?
Yeah.
Okay,
Councillor Grant.
you got the
Well, you
email.
guys order right here. Yep, go
Oh,
ahead.
you got the email on Friday evening.
Yes.
Okay, so some of those questions has to be answered from a legal standpoint, from my legal standpoint. That's what I'm waiting for.
We received a legal briefing and a legal
But
memo.
I am not taking just any legal,
So you don't trust our lawyer?
I'm not saying I don't trust Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
but there's always, it's my prerogative to go out and hire my own lawyer to look at what I'm sending them
Right.
and get their 2 cents worth on it.
Right.
I am not saying under no circumstances am I not trusting anybody working in this staff. What I'm saying is, for my own protection, I need, and that's the question that Councillor Gill asked, and that's the answer I'm going to give her. That's what I'm waiting for.
So we're worried about our own personal liability on this, is what we're saying. This
Am
is-
I worried about my own personal liability
Yeah.
after reading that email?
Okay? We are aware, of course, that there are other aspects to, there's liability for the city here, and that it's very clear, as I stated at the beginning of this whole debate, that the city has no legal authority. To revoke this application would be illegal. So if the motion itself would ask us to do something illegal, and we've known that since before the notice of motion was given 3 weeks ago.
I disagree, Mr. Mayor. I had no notice.
It was
First of
provided
all,
by email to all of council.
Might I finish, if you don't
Yeah.
mind? I didn't mean to.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I had no knowledge that a development permit had been issued until we met at the CC meeting.
Okay, so now that you do know that, you do know
So
that
I
your
made the
motion...
motion before that.
Yeah, so
just
now
to
that you
clarify.
made a notice of motion, you haven't made the motion, but now you have made the motion, that you, now that you know that it was illegal and that the approval was given. Is that clear?
And there are other issues arising out of emails last week that I would like to have some answers to.
Okay.
Now, if you're saying that we shouldn't be able to ask questions or have answers, because we're not allowed to discuss the email in public, I don't know where else we do it.
We can discuss the email in public.
Can we go through it explicitly?
We've been advised by our council, because that the city could incur some damage by it, that we shouldn't get into it in great detail. I think the RFD itself indicates that it would be illegal to revoke the development application, development approval that was given. That is for certain. It is also, I think, fair to say the city will incur or could incur some damages, liability as a result of revoking that application.
And go further.
And personally, it's unclear whether or not councillors could incur liability if they voted to revoke the
And of course, the
approval.
email doesn't say it's unclear.
No, it gives example of other jurisdictions
So I
where it
think
could be.
we have a right to ask questions.
Absolutely. And when did you, and again, I don't know, councillors, when did you receive your package?
Friday evening.
Friday, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we didn't have much time over the weekend to consult with staff on the email, would be my point. But Mr. Mayor, again, another point of order, we're still debating something that is not the motion. The
Yeah.
motion is saying that we're doing an IMSP. Can we consider this idea of discretionary use near residential areas that have a potential to cause air pollution or other noxious concerns for adjacent or abutting residential properties? And we're just asking that when we go through the IMSP with our consultants, that we ensure that, for instance, has anybody reached out to these residents or other residents who've expressed concern and asked them for their opinion as we're going through the IMSP? I don't know, but I think it would be appropriate to do so, because when the municipal plan is adopted, it's the municipal plan for the next 10 years. So if there are some issues that people have with the current one, now's the time to speak up. And that's how this motion, which is currently before us, addresses.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Any other comment before we take a vote on this part? I don't expect there's much problem with this part of the motion.
No.
Right? Okay. I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. And the second part?
Okay, second motion says, be it resolved that the city of Corner Brook has enacted new integrated municipal sustainability plan development regulations. All applications for development of crematoriums in any zone, whether the use is permitted or discretionary in the zone, shall be referred to the City of Corner Brook Council for consideration pursuant to Section 11 of the City of Corner Brook 2012 Development Regulations.
Okay, seconder on that? So, yeah. Seconder?
I'll
Someone like-
second it.
Second it, okay. Okay, questions on this item? So there's
I'm just wondering, like, if, so, we're going to change it, so from here on, there's not going to be any more? Is that what I'm hearing?
we're in the process, of course, doing, as we talked about, our new development regulations.
Yeah.
Until that time, there is, the only way to, I guess, have some kind of stopgap measure, there are zones where crematoria are, or other types of things that produce, I guess, this type of thing, they're permitted in certain zones. And so it is impossible to stop that outright, is the advice that we have from our planning staff. Therefore, I guess we could use our discretionary powers of authority to ask staff to bring that forward to council for review instead of granting an automatic approval, which would normally happen when it's permitted in a zone. Okay? So, any questions about this item?
The only thing, I don't know, and forgive me if I'm not hearing this right, so we have one here now. We're going to add the second one, so there's only one other type of business that would be interested in a possible crematorium. So we're saying that two can have it, and if the other one wants it, he can't get it? Is that what we're saying here?
No, I think what we're saying is that in a permitted zone, it would still, there's already some zones where it's discretionary, like community service in the case of the previous approval.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I
Yeah,
understand.
no, it's just a matter of, it would have to be at the discretion of council rather than a just guarantee, right? Okay, any other questions on this one? So if we trust our staff's advice on this, and our legal advice, then we should be fine with this one. So, okay? Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Wonderful. Next, Councillor Griffin. Tell us about the Adopt a Fire Hydrant, please.
Okay, Mr. Mayor. The Adopt a Hydrant contest will run from December 15th to March the 31st. Residents, businesses, families, community organizations can become involved to ensure a safer neighborhood by keeping fire hydrants clear of snow and easily accessible to the fire department in case of emergencies. To kick off the program, the 2021 grand prize draw will be held at City Hall on December 15th. Participants will need to register, and we will assign one or more of the city's 735 fire hydrants either on the website, filling out the paper from the City Hall front desk, or calling 637-1616. Participants no longer have to report after cleaning their hydrant. Actually, cleaning of the hydrants will be monitored and randomly inspected by the fire department and city hydrant cleaning staff. Prizes will be given out on a weekly basis for inspected and cleared hydrants.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions on that program?
I just think that's a wonderful program.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Just one, Mr. Mayor, it's a good program. I'm just wondering, you didn't do it in 19 and 20 because of COVID? I mean, it says here 2018 last time it was done.
Mr. Flynn?
Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, well, during COVID, we had a rollback program, so we limited, the reference there that I made to 2018 was when we had the full upgoing program. The last couple of years, the program has kind of been pushed to the side a little bit by COVID. and our ability to be out in the public promoting this and having residents come to the City Hall for prizes and all those type of things. So we kept it. And to add to that, the prize was a travel voucher, which kind of challenged our program. So,
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just curious, that's all.
Okay. Okay, so yes, so get out and promote adopting a hydrant. The protective services statistics, Councillor Griffin, tell us what's new and interesting.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. On a weekly basis, the protective services, on a monthly basis, the protective services complies its stats to report them out to council and residents. The objective is to inform the residents of Corner Brook of the work that is being done by the Protective Services Department. The first one is our municipal enforcement officers. Well, they received 93 calls for service as follows: 3 for untidy property, 9 for election sign permits, shame, 8 election sign complaints, 2 for rodents, 1 for water shutoff, and the other for various other routine complaints. The taxi regulations: 5 taxi driver permits, 6 taxi vehicle permits. Animal control: 21 calls for service were received that included 9 roaming animals, 10 injured or deceased animals, 2 violations issued. 105 parking-related violations were issued that included 82 expired meters, 2 accessible parking, and various other parking violations, loading zone, wrong direction, that sort of thing. ATV permits: a total of 352 permits have been issued to date. And I'd like to go on record as saying, to remind everybody that the season ends on November 15th for ATVs. So after November 15th, there's no more ATVs in the city, right? That's correct. Thank you. The Corner Brook Fire Department received 35 calls for service that included 9 commercial fire alarms, 4 residential smoke alarms, 1 garbage fire, 1 tree on a power wire, structure fires on Armstrong and Centennial Place, 11 traffic collisions, 2 non-emergency calls, 2 vehicle fires, 2 for odors, and 1 for water rescue. Fire prevention inspector conducted 30 commercial inspections this month. The total volume of calls received by the Corner Brook PSAP for Corner Brook, it was 5,662 calls. The calls are broken down as follows: police 1,019, ambulance 1,410, fire 192, crisis 10, MRSC 1, Northern 911 2, Parks Canada 1, Voice Control 1, ROCP 7, for a total of 2,643. And that's my report for this month. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions on that report?
Just a comment, Mr. Mayor, the volume of non-transferred calls, 3,019 hang-ups, wrong numbers, misdialed, more than the actual 911 calls themselves. That's astounding.
Yep. Not atypical, unfortunately. Yep. Okay, any other questions there? Okay, we are, as I mentioned, we are going to forego the sidewalk presentation unless, Councillor Granter, you know, you want to. No?
We're good with that.
We'll let
until,
Donnie do
comes
it.
back, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, go ahead. So the next one, we have information on property markers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the past couple of years, Public Works, Water, and Wastewater have increased the number of property markers it has installed around the city in an attempt to reduce damage to both private property and city infrastructure due to snow clearing operations. In a further attempt to help residents, PWWW has also started dropping off wooden markers to residents who call 637-1666 and request them for their property. This initiative helps both the residents and the city reduce costly damage to property. The property markers delivered by the city will be wooden, and we ask that if residents erect their own property markers, that wooden or plastic markers are the city's preference for safety of the snow clearing crews. Steel markers are not allowed and must be removed. Fiberglass markers, although not preferred by the city, are allowed However, if you have fiberglass markers and would like them replaced with wooden markers, you can contact 637-1666. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yes, absolutely.
I've been asked by several people if it's impossible for them to do it because of, their age or because of their mobility. Can somebody who is delivering the markers push them down the ground?
I know in the
John's
past,
not
I know Mr. Bird's not here, but in the past that we did do that.
Okay.
So where we could accommodate that, yes, we
Yes,
would.
Mr. Mayor, that's still the practice.
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
so would you prefer them to tell that when they call in? Because,
Yes.
Absolutely.
okay, okay,
Absolutely, yes.
okay.
The preference would be to call 637-1666 because you don't want residents all going up to the depot and causing congestion with regard to traffic and those kinds of things. So call the number, you put on a list, and they'll get delivered to your property if you so need them.
Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
I
go
think
ahead.
last year we didn't allow the fiberglass ones, and this year we are, so what's changed?
Actually, Mr. Mayor, that didn't change. It was debated here, if I recall properly, around the table, and it was, that recommendation was pulled from the table with regard to the use of fiberglass markers, if I recall correctly. And we continue with which is still the current policy of
That's something to do with
steel wasn't allowed and still not allowed. Wooden is preferred, and fiberglass can be used, even though it's not a recommended use.
I thought it had something to do with snowblowing.
Yeah, it's something to do with some damage that it could cause, and also potential injury to our walkers in front of the snow blowers.
Yep.
Yeah, they are sharp, and they do the way
my
they
gosh,
shard. But there was some last year, I know, we had mentioned plastic was allowed, so then there were a number of people who had issues taking up their fiberglass.
Okay.
But again, if you can, call and we'll happily replace them, okay? Any other questions on
That
that?
saves a lot of money on tearing up the,
Yeah, we spend, obviously, fixing grass is not something that's easy. By the time sod is ready for us to do lawn repairs, it's usually later than residents would prefer. Of course, we do offer programs to pay you cash to do your own maintenance if you prefer that method, but unfortunately, it's usually later in the summer before we can get to repairs. So this is preferable to an ounce of prevention kind of thing.
yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
There is an area along the new road up from Grenfell off of, oh my gosh,
Pinkston?
Beaumont Hamel.
Yes, yeah.
And I understand that that property is actually owned by the city, not by the residents, but I do know that the residents have had some issues in the past with that. It looks pretty raggedy after the winter with the snow clearing and ripping up the sod, and that was actually something that was raised to me when I was campaigning, that it is city property, but perhaps we should have some markers there along our own bank there, because it is pretty public looking, and everyone drives past it, and it's be nice to keep the sod
Intact.
in good
Yeah.
condition since we're paying for it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure Rodney, city manager, we can make Mr. Burton aware of that. For sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Councillor Gill. We have an update from Engineering, Development, and Planning.
May I just ask a question, Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
with respect to these information reports? Are these included with the minutes online
They're included in our agenda packages, which are available online.
for
yes.
the community?
Yeah, so you don't need to, there's,
That's what
again...
I'm wondering, because this is very long.
Yeah, no, I would, again,
don't want
I would encourage
seriously.
councillors to just highlight any
Yeah,
items they feel.
I'm not trying to hide anything, I just really don't want to put you guys through this. So there are a number of items here with respect to concrete sills around the city hall heat pumps that will help us be more efficient here, the storm sewer assessment that's being conducted throughout the city, and so far we've done about 115 of the more than 1,000 manholes that are in the city, so we're going to get some recommendations as to which ones need to be addressed first. The recreational center, the aquatic recreational center, that's pretty exciting. So we're preparing right now to enter into a design build. That's engineering speak. I wonder, can you explain what design build means for our audience? please, Dan?
Sure.
Mr. Charters?
Typically, like a water and sewer project would be a design bid build, so we would have a consultant design the whole thing, we put it out to tender, and then proponents would bid on that. Difference here is the builder does the design,
Right.
so that's the difference.
Okay, thank you. The asphalt program, $1.7 million is now complete, although I understand there's still a little bit of patchwork being done in certain neighborhoods. Retaining walls, 8%. I'm not, the retaining walls project, where are those? Sorry. You told me last week, and I can't remember either.
My apologies, I don't recall the location, so I
Okay,
can
well,
find that.
there are retaining walls in the city of Corner Brook that are 80% completed, and if anybody has any questions, we can tell you where they are. With respect to the multi-year capital projects, there's a number of areas throughout the city, Johnson's Avenue, Griffin at Lewin, Mill Road at Lewin. We're looking at the intersections there to try to make those intersections more fluid for traffic. Bellows Brook Culvert, I've been in conversation with people that live in that area, and I'm looking forward to creating a more neighborhood-friendly throughway there for those folks. We're doing a water study with Steady Brook, and we're expecting the report in the coming days. And Mount Bernard Avenue rebuild project, the request for proposals closes November 16th. And finally, there's a number of things in development and planning. The Corner Brook Acute Care Hospital, of course, is scheduled for completion in fall 2023 or summer 2024. There's a number of developments in the city, pro-choice auto glass, the new veterinary clinic, Dr. French's medical building is now occupied. The expansion to Shoppers Drug Mart, I'm sure we're all aware of that one. Berry Seafood is doing an expansion. There's a new Subway building going on Union Street. And of course, the SPCA building. The final permit was issued for the building. And finally, to speak to the IMSP that was brought up earlier, consultation and review is underway, and the consultant is reviewing feedback from council, businesses, residents, and special interest groups. And we're expecting a draft report in the early winter. And that is the report.
Okay.
Do I need to?
No, any questions on, I guess, from the rest of council on any of those items? Yes, go ahead.
Just on, I know we said the paving, there may be some still ongoing.
Yes.
But what about the water line cuts? Because we had a few last week, water line breaks and so on. Will they be repaired before winter?
As I understand, the Public Works still has some ongoing. Mr. Charter, is that the case?
That's what I understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, go ahead.
I guess just to bring forward long-term care, because it was mentioned, and acute care. Since they're being finished, I think I brought to Director Charters, there's been a request put in from a couple of people to extend our bus route out there. So that will be something that we'll have to look at as time goes on,
Yep.
right?
And Mr.
Yeah.
Charters, I think there's something in the works there?
Yes, there is. Yeah,
Yes.
we just want to let the public know, because we're having a lot of people who find it a long distance from the time they get dropped off
Right.
to whatever.
Absolutely. Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Community Services, Councillor Keeping. We have a few interesting things going on there as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Community service update. Great Trail Announcement Phase 1. The City of Corner Brook is pleased to announce a new $1.7 million funding agreement for the establishment and upgrade of a new multi-purpose trail in the city, funded in part by Infrastructure Canada and the provincial government. This new project will establish a new continuous multi-purpose trail connecting Curling and Mount Moriah with the art downtown Corner Brook. In 2019, the city partnered with TransCanada Trail, formerly the Great Trail, to investigate options for a new continuous route for the trail through the city. Recognizing that there was no continuous route for TransCanada Trail users, city staff worked alongside a consultant to engage the public and determine a new route through the city which would serve both residents and TransCanada Trail users. ultimately suggesting a route which mirrors the coastline, availing of popular recreation routes such as Riverside Drive and the Griffin Drive Rail Trail. Phase 1 of this new trail will see upgrades from the heart of Corner Brook at the mill, heading west to the city's boundary with Mount Moriah. The project will see sections of rail upgraded, new sided along parts of Griffin Drive, safe road crossings along the route, and a new pedestrian bridge over Peters Brook. Ultimately, this enhancement will form a continuous route suitable for walking, running, cycling, biking, and a variety of other uses. The trail serves as a key step in integrating all areas of the city with multi-purpose trails and providing an active transportation and recreation network for residents to avail of. Work on this trail is expected to begin in 2022.
Okay, thank you.
Also, the strategic tourism for areas and regions. Staff have completed a funding application for ACOA to undertake the implementation phase of the project, pending budget approval, branding and marketing, trail development, and geopark. Aspiring geopark, Dr. Walden, the geologist, visited the area this past summer and is now preparing a report on the geological formation of the area, which is a critical step towards the area becoming designated as a geopark. The GMO photo project, staff continued to work with Western GMO to produce an inventory of photos and videos that will be used to promote the area. Christmas 2021, traditional parade. The parade will take place this year on Saturday, December 4th, and will feature the male Whistler as a Polar Express. Light up City Hall. The Christmas tree, City Hall, and the square will be lit up to kick off the Christmas season on December 4th. CNA Tourism Course Community Service Project Update. Staff is working with CNA students to develop tourism content for the region. Deer Lake Airport Sense of Arrival Project. Staff is working with YDF to have a better presence at the airport through photos, videos, and information packages for the Bay of Islands, Umber Valley, and the Corner Brook areas. Business World Council on City Data 2020. Staff continue to work on submitting all the data required for another ISO Platinum certification. Downtown Urban Design Plan. Working on final claims for phase 1 of the project and beginning to work on a potential phase 2 of the project. Special tax assistance for new commercial enterprise program. Staff are moving forward with the development of a tax relief deferment program that is intended to assist new business and to attract others to the city. Sustainability, community gardens. Staff continues to work with Western Environment Center, WEC, to develop a plan for the very successful garden program moving forward. Trans-Canada Trail Project. Staff is working with engineering to develop the engineering design RFP for the recently funded $1.7 million project. Urban Forestry Project, in partnership with CNA, Grenfell, Canadian Forestry Services. Staff are working to develop an urban forestry partnership and better policies to help sustain and protect the urban forest. Fall Leaf Collection Program. Staff are coordinating the annual program that will take place from November 15th to 19th. Grenfell Environmental Protection Institute Lab. Staff are working with EPI Lab to develop a city studio style course with a focus on the environment, while at the same time working with a student who is investigating electric vehicle best practices for municipalities.
Okay.
I so move, Mr. Mayor.
No, thank you very much. Any questions on those items?
Just
Yes, go ahead.
just a couple of points. I'm really interested in the special tax assistance for new commercial enterprises. Grenfell campus and College North Atlantic, of course, are partners on the Navigate Entrepreneurship Center, and that's something that will be of great interest to Allison Rowe, who's the manager there. And the other point, really pleased to see that we're working with the EPI lab at Grenfell. The city studio courses are, I work at Grenfell, okay, so I've got the inside scoop on that one, but it gives students an opportunity to work with city, to put things in place that will really help our city, which is great. And just as a point of interest, the EPI lab and I are working on a survey for Grenfell employees, staff, and students to find out what the interest is in having electric car chargers put on our campus.
Right. Oh, good.
Yeah, One point, Mr. Mayor, with regard to the fall leaf collection, just a reminder to residents that my understanding is that they put their fall leaves out with their regular trash or recycling next week. So if your collection is on Monday, you put your leaves out on Monday, on Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is next week.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Lots of interesting things there, and of course, the trail project that Councillor Keating mentioned, I think that's a big, that's going to be a great win for the city to improve that network. It's a well-used network, and yeah, great to see.
Mr. Mayor, just a question on City Studio. So were you able to continue with that during COVID? Was that still ongoing?
Yes, and Mr. Charters?
Yes, it's mostly done remotely or via the internet, but yes, we've got at least 2 projects underway right now.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, moving right along. Next, we have some Finance and Min, COVID-19 vaccination policy for the City of Corner Brook. Councillor Pender.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The health and safety of our employees and our residents is a top priority for the city. The city is committed to taking every reasonable precaution in circumstances for the safety of workers from the hazard of COVID-19. Vaccination is a key element in the protection of city employees against the hazards of COVID-19. This policy is designed to maximize vaccination rates among city employees as one of the critical control measures for the hazard of COVID-19. Many other government bodies have implemented mandatory vaccination policies for COVID-19, and the city is interested in doing the same. So effective December 31st, 2021, city employees, council members, students, volunteers, on-site vendors, suppliers, consultants, and contractors are required to be vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to attend the workplace. This time period allows any employees that are not yet fully vaccinated an opportunity to arrange their first and/or second shots. Employees who are not compliant by December 31st, 2021 will not be able to attend the workplace. The city will evaluate each situation uniquely, but employees who do not comply are subject to being placed on unpaid leave of absence. So, Mr. Mayor, the motion, it is resolved that the City of Corner Brook City Council approve the COVID-19 vaccination policy as attached. I so move.
Thank you. A seconder on that?
Second that.
Thank you. Questions on this item?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, one question with regard to effective December 31st, city employees, council members, then it says students. What's the reference there to students? Student employees that we have, because we have, obviously in Canada right now, in Newfoundland right now, you know, we have students from kindergarten all the way up. There's no vaccination for a certain age group, so what are we referencing students?
I would assume
All
it's,
those-
I would
all
assume
that
it's
would
those,
be-
I would assume it's those employed by us, but
Students that we would have, those would be on any kind of a program in summer recreation.
Summer student working program, okay. Yep.
okay.
Would
Yes.
also be our youth council also?
General, I wouldn't imagine that, again, the general public or, again, our partners that come to visit us from time to time would be included in that. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I mean, again, if you were to do a remote meeting, then they wouldn't be able, wouldn't have to be required to attend City Hall or a city workplace. But if you're basically in a city building, then this would be a requirement.
Okay, and we do have our meetings here, so that
Yeah.
would be a requirement.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay. Even if they're visiting?
but we have meetings, right?
Right. So if we have any meeting at all at City Hall with an outside group, they would have to have,
Well, the policy basically, it doesn't necessarily cover all outside groups, so if there's a third-party group, but it does cover, I guess, anybody that we are bringing in as employees or contractors with the city.
yeah, so whether, would these be employees or contractors?
But I think that they would be covered, if I may, under volunteers, but we could check that.
Okay.
So getting back to the question on students, so a student who cannot get a vaccine as of yet in the province because of their age requirement, and there's an event at City Hall, so because a student, there's no vaccine for that particular age group, can he or she attend the event at City Hall or not be able to attend the event at City Hall?
No,
I mean, they go to school, there is no vaccine available for them, so should they not be allowed to attend the event?
no,
Just want to.
the reference to students there is referencing work-term students or on-the-job
Work-term
training students that we are bringing into the building.
Do we need to make a friendly amendment then and indicate that we're referencing work-term students? Or
Yeah, I
that's
guess
too restrictive?
the policy that's attached is fairly detailed there in regards to what it covers there and how it's applied. So it does define the definition also applies to any work-term student and/or student undergoing on-the-job training with the city, whether they are in receipt of remuneration or not. So that's what's defined there. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
The question?
Yes, go ahead.
Does the volunteers include coaches or user groups at Civic Center also, or is it just City Hall? Or is it all our properties?
Yeah, so this policy is intended, I guess, to cover generally the employees of the city. Separate from that, there are the CMO and the province has issued separate guidelines and requirements in regards to certain subsets of employees or users of different facilities. So, for example, while our policy is going to be at December 31st for all employees, as of December 17th, all our employees in the fire department as well as all our employees in the Civic Center are required to be double vaccinated, fully vaccinated. So that's separate from our policy. And again, in regards to the use of the Civic Center again follows the guidelines that are set down by the province in regards to the vaccination status. There is some question in regards to the volunteers and employees of those facilities do have an extended timeline in order to be able to be double vaccinated while they're actively engaged in that volunteer or employment.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah, I think it's still, I'm not reading in the policy, I guess, specific, like, we have a specific committee for youth. We have other committees, of course, community partners and things like that, that we regularly would invite to our meetings. I don't know how we would enforce or ensure that, because they're casual visitors, like they're not on our payroll, they're not acting on behalf of the city, they're guests, basically. So I would assume that they would not be included?
Yeah, I mean, and the current rules that the province has placed is that a building in which government services are being offered, visitors to that building are not required to be double vaccinated.
Right.
So we wouldn't be going beyond that requirement for visitors to the building unless council wishes to do so, but that would be beyond the guidance from the province at this point.
Right, okay, so I think that what we're talking about wouldn't apply, this wouldn't apply to them specifically. It's someone really acting on behalf of the city,
Yeah.
right? Okay, clear? Okay, any other questions on this? No, okay, call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Next, expression of interest, Assessment Review Commissioner.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, pursuant to Section 31(1) of the Assessment Act, the City of Corner Brook is required to appoint a person to the position of Assessment Review Commissioner for 2022. The city has solicited expressions of interest in the position of Assessment Review Commissioner, and one submission was received. Mr. Waterman has held a number of positions in his career in which he was responsible for property acquisition and disposition. He has served on several panels and hearings in related to statutes and regulations. He has served as the city's commissioner for the past 8 years. So, Mr. Mayor, I would propose it is resolved to appoint Mr. Dennis Waterman as the Assessment Review Commissioner for 2022. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one?
So did we put that out there to see if anybody wants to do it? Or?
Yeah, it goes out to the public. Any other quick questions? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Counterminded? Carried. Next, we have a revised capital investment plan. I think there was a small change. Councillor Pender, if you would.
Thank you, sir. The federal government provides funding to municipalities under the federal gas tax fund on a 5-year basis. The current program, 5-year program, is from 2019 to 2024. In August, the city was advised of an additional one-time top-up to the fund in the amount of $839,340. In order to receive these and utilize these funds, the city is required to submit a capital investment plan that outlines how the city will utilize these funds. A revised capital investment plan is required to be updated based on the new allocation of $839,340 being approved in August 2021. The city has been using funds received for its annual road paving program, and it is proposed to continue this with the incremental funding. The CIP that was brought forward at the October 18th, 2021 meeting had a slight error in the total amount of the CIP. I think it was just like $80 or something that it was off by. So we have to do it correctly, so we have another motion here, Mr. Mayor. It is resolved to approve the revised 2019-2024 capital investment plan in the amount of $6,144,196.09 as attached. I so move.
Thank you. A seconder?
Second.
Thank you. So we went through this before, I think. So same thing again. Any questions, I guess, on the plan? Like I said, I think it's actually an $8,800.
Oh, was it that much?
Yeah,
Okay.
but of course, in the big scheme of a couple $1 million, it's easy to miss $8,800. Okay? Okay, well, if there's no questions, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried. Excellent. Okay, and we have an information report on council remuneration.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. The City of Cornwall provides remuneration to its mayor and council. The process in which the remuneration is approved is controlled by both provincial legislation and city regulation. The City of Corner Brook Act in paragraph 17 outlines that remuneration can be paid to mayor and council subject to a 2/3 vote of the total number of councillors and in accordance with the regulations. Paragraph 18 requires the city to have regulations that set out the scale of remuneration and the rules in which reimbursement of expenses may occur. The city has council remuneration and reimbursement regulations 2018 that were approved by council in 2018 and effective January 1st, 2019. The remuneration that is contained in that regulation is the mayor at $39,300 per year, deputy mayor at $29,120, and each councillor at $25,380. The rate of remuneration that is stated above is the rate of remuneration that was paid in 2019, 20, and 21. The regulation paragraph 15 states, in the 3rd year of each council's term, council shall conduct a comparative benchmarking exercise to review the current council remuneration with other municipalities in the province and those of similar size and circumstances. The benchmarking review shall be conducted by an external and independent third party. Any recommendations for a change in the council remuneration from such a review shall be implemented not prior to the 1st month of office for the next elected council. The regulation requires the independent third-party review and does not allow it to be optional. If, as part of that review, there was a recommendation for an adjustment in remuneration, it would not be implemented for the current council members, but would only take effect for the next council after the general election. While the independent third-party review is a requirement, there is no requirement for council to accept the recommendations or implement any changes. If there was a desire from a council or a group of councillors to implement a change to the remuneration of council, there is a formal process to follow. Paragraph 39 and 40 of the City of Corner Brook Act state, notice prior to regulations, a regulation, which this would be, or an amendment or appeal of the regulation shall not be considered by council without written notice having been given at a previous meeting. And then there's a regulation number 40 on publication. Basically, it says it has to be advertised. Mr. Mayor, I don't think I'm going to read through all the regulations there, if you don't mind.
No.
It is attached, right, for public viewing?
Absolutely.
So, okay. So before there is any change in regulation, a notice of motion must be presented at a public meeting. Notice of motion is not debated when it's first presented, but must outline the changes that are being proposed, and so on. With the existing regulations in place, the remuneration for members of council could only take place after the 2025 general election. With the current regulations in place, there is not an opportunity for there to be any change in the remuneration during this term of council. Council does have the authority to make changes to the current council remuneration and reimbursement regulations 2018. However, any change in the remuneration or any other clauses would require a notice of motion and subsequent 2/3 vote of council in order to be implemented. So with that said, Mr. Mayor, it's quite clear that there will be no changes unless the regulations are changed in council's current remuneration.
Yep. Thank you. Any questions on that? Okay, perfectly clear.
Yep.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, Deputy Mayor, we have a Civic Center update.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Civic Center update. COVID-19 continues to demand a constant review of guidelines to ensure public health is a priority while the Civic Center continues to significantly open more areas of the facility. The transition from summer to fall activity has come with a noticeable increase in demand for recreation and meetings, which is great. This increased demand has been combined with continuous monitoring and subsequent necessary adjustment to the new public health guidelines. Some of the more significant changes began in early September where guidelines for recreational facilities changed. No longer a requirement for time between sessions in arenas. Full use of dressing areas was permitted. The mask requirement has been reacted.
Probably redacted, isn't it?
Yeah, supposedly, I think is a typo. And Public Health introduced the VaxPass, proof of vaccination requirement to enter the Civic Center. All traditional minor programming restarted this fall, including Cornbrook Minor Hockey, Silver Blades, Humber Valley Speed Skating, and a number of private camps and seminars in preparation for the much anticipated normal 2021-2022 season. The optimism for this year stems from the ability to participate in as well as tournaments, games within the province. The Civic Center has hosted a number of provincial tournaments since September, including the U18 Male AA Kickoff Tournament for hockey, and female hockey tournament, Volley West, and over 20 teams from across the province, to name a few. The reintroduction of provincial and regional tournaments has been positive boosted local economy. Just last weekend we had M&L here also, so that was a big turnout for Corner Brook. A number of groups and activities that were specifically impacted by COVID-19 now resumed, including general skating, toddler skating, public and adult skating, Humber Valley speed skating, and rec hockey leagues. Meetings, conferences, craft fairs, training sessions have continued throughout the pandemic. However, interest has increased for the fall of 2021-22. Last week, the Civic Center were proud to host the first provincial conference since February 2020, and that's what I just referred to. M&L had over 300 delegates from across the province. So that's it for our Civic Center, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions on that? Great to see activity going back, and the conference this weekend. I think Councillor Pender, you were there as well.
Yes, sir.
Staff did a great job, I guess, trying to make the best of the COVID regulations, and it was very much appreciated by those who attended. So it's a bit of normalcy,
It
otherwise.
was nice to see people in the building other than, sports activities for conferences and so on.
Absolutely.
We did get a very good feedback from the people in attendance. They were very impressed with the center, with the way it was laid out, the planning and so on. So kudos to the organizing team and M&L for putting off a really good, great conference. And the discussion was interesting as well. So it was very worthwhile to attend.
Excellent. Okay, any other questions on that report? Okay, thank you. And we have some rec updates as well.
Yep, that's for me.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so this is my new committee. As Mr. Park has referred to it as the Committee of Fun. There's lots of things happening at the Civic Center that a lot of us probably aren't even aware of. So I'm just going to go through a few. The activities are there. Older adult fitness with Nora Lundergan is Monday and Wednesday, 10:30 to 11:30. and it's a $3 fee is required. Active Tots is one that's been on the go for a long time, and Active Tots is held Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 to 11, and there's no cost, no registration needed at this time. So just pop in, bring your tot, and have some fun. Drop-in yoga is with the experienced instructor Margaret Colburn. Takes place on Friday, and that's also a $3 fee required for that one. After-school sports drop-in, students can participate in some sports on Tuesday and Thursday from 3:30 to 5, and that is a $3 fee. Drop-in pickleball. Now, I might be on this rec committee, but I really don't think I'm going to be participating in drop-in pickleball. It's a sport that's gaining popularity, especially here in Corner Brook, and it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:45 to 1:45. This costs $5. Time program is up there, be a partnership between Corner Brook Western Health, and it's specifically for those who have suffered from a stroke, looking to do light rehabilitation exercise, and it takes place on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 3. There's no cost, but registration and evaluations are required. I popped in on this one last week, and I was really happy to see that there was a lot of people there, a lot of participation in it, and it's good to see that kind of thing take place. Adult lunchtime sports drop in, youth drop in. We also have National Child Day, is celebrated each year in November. And we have our Hypocomp wheelchairs. And the city of Corner Brook has 3 of those to improve accessibility to recreation within the city. Any information for programming can be found on our Civic Center Facebook page. And you also have to note that the Vax passport and identification will be required for all spectators over the age of 12 and any user over the age of 18. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions on those items?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
And Councilor Chazon, what is a Hippocamp wheelchair?
It's a chair that provides accessibility, so it has bigger wheels, so there's different kinds. There's some that are all-terrain that are available to use around Margaret Bowater Park, say. There's some that we lend out to the ski club that have skis on them, so that, again, to make, I guess, the outdoors more accessible. It's a great tool for sure.
Yes.
The ones we use on our splash pad as well.
Absolutely, and we have somewhat bigger wheels so they can take them to the beach. They can rent them out, or not rent them out, but they can borrow them and go to Pasadena Beach and spend a day on the beach and things like that. Go in the water.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
We have 3.
Yep.
We're very proud of them.
Any other questions?
No,
Mr. Mayor, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, if anybody tried to use a wheelchair, like even on a flat surface like grass, it's really hard to use. But these chairs are amazing, and that's what they're designed for, to make it easier so that you can do all the trails that anybody else can do. Yep.
Yes, Councilor Penny?
No, I was just going to say, I'm really pleased to see the youth drop in too for Friday evenings for young people 7 to 9. It's nice to have young people, provide them with an opportunity of somewhere to go on Friday nights. And I would also suggest Councilor Chazon, if she wants to learn about pickleball, we do have an expert sitting over there with our city clerk. She knows all about it. So it's a great sport if you are into that.
Yeah. Pickleball.
There we go. Okay, anything else? Okay. We have thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. We have a land lease. This came up previously in council, and I guess went back for further discussion, but we have a consolidated RFP. Councillor Pender, if you would tell us about it, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the land management was approached by the resident of 53 Carberry's Road to lease city land for the purpose of more parking. The land was left vacant to leave access to the land behind Carberry's Road for the future McDonald Brown subdivision. Currently, the land is being used by the property owners in the area and has an approximate frontage of 15.1 or 49.5 meters and an area of 527 square meters. The neighboring property owner at 49 Carberry's Road was contacted, and they expressed interest in leasing the city land for the same purpose of more parking. Land management was then contacted by the property owner of 50 Carberry's Road, who were currently using the city land for parking, and they also expressed interest in leasing a portion. After further review, it was determined that there was a sufficient amount of land to split it into 3 parts. Therefore, each property owner would have the chance to lease a 5-meter or 16.4-foot portion of the approximate area with an approximate area of 173 square meters. If approved, some of the general condition would be, or include, the lease would be limited to residential vehicles only. Commercial vehicles shall not be permitted. Any modification to the grade of the lease area must be approved by the city and must not interfere with neighboring properties or other adjacent leases. And thirdly, all snow clearing and removal must be contained within each owned leased area and must not interfere with neighboring properties or other adjacent leases. So, hopefully, this resolves the parking issue for 3 residents and they can all be accommodated. So, Mr. Mayor, the motion, it is resolved to approve the execution of the lease agreements between the City of Corner Brook and the residents of 53, 50, and 49 Carberry's Road for city land on Carberry's Road. I so move.
Thank you. Someone like to second that?
Second.
Thank you. Questions on this item?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just a point of clarification. So we have 3 residents looking for 3 pieces of land now, because 1 piece of land will be divided in 3 sections. So you have 49 and 53, which will be on one side of the street. Then you have a resident or an owner on 50, which will be across the street, that would want access to a piece of land which is on the other side of the road. Question I would ask staff, have we done any other work on, where does this end in the sense of, so you live on a street, pick any street in town, and there's a piece of land that's 15 houses down the street, a block of land that's owned by the city, and the resident next to it would want to use it or perhaps could lease it and put a trailer on it or an extra car on it or something on those lines. Where does it stop in the sense of, if I'm 14 houses up or someone's 14 houses up and I want a piece of land way down at the end of the street, I wasn't around, and perhaps most people in this room weren't around when this regulation was developed by the city, but when it was developed, was the intent for properties to be just simply adjacent to vacant land? Because it would seem like, looking at this, first, I don't even know the people involved, but the 50 would be across the street. But what stops anyone from living 15 houses up the road and there's a vacant piece of land next to someone and they come to the city and say, I want that piece of land up there, lease it, put a trailer on, put my extra 4-wheel drive on.
Okay,
So-
Mr. Burke?
So what's the history on it?
Yeah, I guess,
So we are, I guess, there is an existing policy, but as a part of this, we also are going to look at the policy to clarify some of those points that you raised there. So in regards to the sale of land, the policy currently says that we always contact adjacent property owners and they have priority. And so in this case, we did, that's why, while the property owner at 53 approached us, we did contact the property owner at 49. And it is our understanding that one of those 2 property owners advised the resident at 50 because the resident at 50 was already using it for existing parking. So when they did approach us, that's when, land management did an evaluation on, and based on the intended use, felt it was appropriate. In regards to whether land is across the street or not adjacent to the property, we do have several situations in the city where that does in fact occur. And generally they are within close proximity to the property, but not always the case. There's one case I can think of in particular where there is not a lot of parking for that particular property owner. There is a city lot that is a couple hundred feet away, and they are leasing a space there. So we are reviewing that policy as well to see if it is appropriate and consistent with what the intent is. Most of these parcels, in general, are land that is not being utilized, and if somebody can utilize it, it helps keep it a little more, I won't say beautify it, but it keeps say some of the weeds or garbage from being collected on the lots.
Yep, thank you.
and what is, Mr. Park, what's our ability to terminate the lease? How quickly can we get the land back?
I believe it's 30 days notice,
Yeah.
or it may even be quicker than that, but these are basically leases that will, and if we have any reason that we want to cancel it, whether it's compliance or non-compliance or just for any other reason, we can cancel it.
Thank you.
The land in question is a road allowance. or it's designed as a road allowance. So someday down the road, of course, we may want to develop the property, so we wouldn't probably be interested in selling it, so. Any other questions on this one? Okay. I'll call the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Councillor Gill, we have a proposed meeting schedule.
Yes, there's a proposed, thank you, Mr. Mayor, there's a proposed meeting schedule in our package from today's date up until June 27th for regular meetings and council of the whole, committee of the whole meetings. And, yeah, there it is. So I guess that'll be available online
Yeah, and I guess these
for the
are,
whole world to see.
and obviously these things are subject to change, but of course we want to just put in place some kind of straw man to get some planning started and for councillors' sakes as well, so we can plan accordingly. Thank you very much. Any questions on that?
I do have one question, Mr.
Yes,
Mayor.
go ahead.
We're required to attend a monthly meeting
Yep.
as councillors, and we have committee of the whole, and we have regular council.
Yep,
Which one of those is designated public meeting?
both.
They're both?
They're both public, yeah.
Public.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I didn't ask that correctly. Which one of those two are designated as our monthly meeting as per the act?
Both.
Both are the monthly meeting?
Yeah, both can be considered monthly meetings, so,
Both are
yeah,
either?
you can, yeah. Yeah, they're just a format really of the meeting. They're all public meetings, right? Okay, any other questions there? Nope. Okay, we are going to go into an in-camera session now. However, before, I just would make just a little comment, getting a lot of inquiries about, of course, the what's going on with the growlers, and are we doing anything, or is anyone talking? We can't say much, but we can say that we have been chatting and working out if there's any possibility to have a short-term or long-term arrangement there, so stay tuned. So, just for the benefit of everyone.
Maybe we should say who the growlers are for those that may not know.
Growlers.
The Newfoundland Growlers, if you've been following the news lately, yeah, they're looking for some new places to play, at least in the short term. So, yeah, it's good hockey. Another thing, I guess, before we go, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Richard Dennis, a community, very, I guess, important community member who did a lot, particularly for the hockey community, in both AAA and senior hockey as part of the Royals, and I've worked with him as part of that, and a good guy to boot. He's supported me personally, politically as well, and it's very sad to see him go. Obviously, we lose a lot of good people every day, so it's impossible to mention everyone, but I think it was worth mentioning Richard, so condolences to his family. Okay, so with that, I'm going to ask to clear the gallery. Thank you for your attendance, and media as well, and we will get right to our in-camera session. Thank you very much. Public meeting.
About this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us or send